All right, hey guys, today I wanted to do a settings and black card management quick guide, kind of a combo video because I feel like they're both pretty quick topics to go over and I don't want to make like 2 3-minute videos basically, right? If I can combine them into one, I might as well. So getting into it first, I think we'll do settings. I've been asked kind of how to optimize the settings before, and I think what it comes down to is a couple key things. First, in sound, make it work for how you want your audio to be, pick your voice setting, do kind of all that things. Graphics is where most of it is, right? UI settings, probably full screen. I'm assuming you want full screen. Your graphics, I would say crank them via trial and error as high as possible while being able to keep the maximum frame rate that your computer shows. On mobile, crank it as high as possible until you get the maximum frame rate of your phone screen. My phone has a way to show the current FPS it's pulling in games. It's a Google Pixel 7, and I can turn it on and see the FPS. So by doing so, I can kind of check. And there are external applications you could probably download that will show you that as well if your phone doesn't do that. So you can basically do the same thing on mobile as you can on computer, but set it to the maximum frames per second as your computer or phone can show, and then crank the settings as high as it can until you are never really going under that by more than a frame or two at any given time. There's no big dips or anything like that. And once you're there, you'll be perfectly fine. And that's basically it. Yeah, it's just everything's a bit of trial and error here. The biggest one, I believe, is a couple ones in other, and then button position I'll get to in a minute. So in other, I use lock settings here. This is the biggest one. Manual lock is super important. On mobile, it's a little iffy. You just have to touch a blank part of the screen to change where you're locked onto, or a button will be displayed that you can click on its own. This is very important for if you're trying to highly optimize things, because being able to manually lock on what you want to be attacking in stuff like Warzone allows you to basically attack something and then line things up to do AoE attacks, bunch up targets and everything, and it will just overall make your gameplay smoother if you get used to using it. So I recommend definitely switching to manual lock the second you start playing the game and just getting used to playing with manual lock. I don't think you need to display the lock button, especially if you're on PC, because it does nothing, but I would definitely switch to manual lock. Otherwise, show frame rate on battle interface so you can see your FPS, and that is pretty much it in the other tab. Going to button position, for the most part, this is just normal controls. I put my super onto my mouse buttons. That's basically all I've changed here. So that isn't as much of the problem as doing your keybinds. If I can open them. Not keybinds. Sorry. UI layout, because it's keybinds, but you know what I mean. So in this layout, there are a couple base configs, but they're not great. So this is what I do. From the recommended config here, where all your orbs are here, I just move them over, right? Just drag them over, make them bigger, and swap the orb direction from left to right to left. That way they're coming in from this side of the screen, plopping down here, and 1 is here, 2 is here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it follows the line of your keyboard numbers rather than trying to be backwards. And also on the other side of the screen than what is normal for players coming from mobile. But that is the biggest tip I can say. Config 2 is all right, but they're small. They're really low down. The thumbstick's up here, and you don't need the thumbstick on keyboard and mouse. So this is basically my setup. It's just literally moved to look a little nicer and have all my orbs be a little bit more visible and accessible for my eyes to not be messing with me. I've seen some people change where they'll do mouse button 1 and 2 here, which you can do, I guess. Another idea is if you had one of those MOBA mice, which are a little old school now, but it'll be a mouse where instead of 2 mouse buttons, you'll have like a whole entire 10 key section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 0, and then like 2 more buttons, which you'll usually use for macros in MOBA games and stuff like World of Warcraft. If you had one of those playing this game, you could set all 8 here to buttons on your mouse and handle almost everything in the game on your mouse, even including QTEs if you wanted to, although Q and E is pretty easy to do with that, in my opinion. But that's pretty much the biggest thing with UI that I hear a lot of people talking about, is they want their orbs to be better and not mess with their head as much. And I think this is kind of a good layout that a lot of people have been defaulting to. So definitely try this out if you want to. It's a 2-step fix. Drag them, swap to right to left, and then increase the button size if you want to. I have a pretty small monitor, so I had to, right? So that is all of the settings. I don't play on controller, so I don't have any of that bound. I can't help you with that one. Otherwise, let's get into the talk about black cards and how to best optimize the use and consumption of them. For starters, the main way to get black cards is your weekly missions right here for Pain Cage and Warzone. Pain Cage and Warzone being in the challenge tab right here. Pain Cage is important to do, Warzone's important to do. Definitely do them every week. I have another video for that, which I will put in the card up above. Going back to how to get the most of them, you get per patch, which is 35 days, 1.2 thousand or 1,200 black cards. Not per patch, but per week in that patch. And there's 5 weeks per patch, 35 days. So it is 6,000. Yes, 6,000 black cards a patch. That becomes 12,000 every other patch. Every other patch is when there's the new event character you're going to want to be pulling for. Your dailies is 30 a day. 30 times 35 is 900. It's 1,050. So you get 2,050 more. You're at 4,100 or 14,100 if you play every day. And then the events give you the rest of the black cards you would need to get to 15,000, which is how to hit pity on any of the event characters you want. That is where you should also be spending your black cards, is the new event characters where they have 100% rate up. Right here, like right here with Nana Mecha. I just finally hit pity and got her. Unfortunately, I had to hit pity, but that's pretty much what's going to happen every time in this game, which is why their pity is so low. So this is where it is recommended you spend your black cards. Outside of that, I guess if you wanted a bit of a dolphin or whale way to go about it, no, that is the wrong shop. If you go into the top-up shop, there are a couple things you can do. There's supply packs and other kind of packs that you can spend money on. But the number one most valuable thing you should be getting if you spend any money on this game, that you basically always should be getting before paying for anything else, is one of the monthly passes. The reason for this is because the monthly passes give the most value. Some give serum and event tickets. Some give weapon tickets and black cards. But the main ones are these monthly pass A and monthly pass C. Do not ask me what monthly pass B is. I do not know. It's never here. But monthly pass A and C are important. C is the cheapest. It is 28 paid cards. You get 300 and 3,000 total. So over the course of 30 days, you get 100 per. A, monthly pass A, reversed order, right, is 2 more paid cards than C, but you get 300 more black cards because you get 3 more days of it in each patch. Essentially, you have 35 days, so you have 2 days you can miss on this one, and yada yada yada, however it works. So it is probably the best one to do is A, because you get the most value from it. You can also own 2 at a time. Again, if you're spending money, you should own both at a time. It is the best value. You make basically passive black card income every day you sign in, and a decent-ish chunk at the beginning. This monthly pass is okay, but this one is mostly for the serum, because this is where, if you don't want to be spending black cards and money on black cards outright to then buy serum, you get this and you get 2 more serum every day to if you were hyper farming. And then this one is for if you wanted to get target weapons and 6-star weapon shards. So this is for if you wanted to get your weapons set up. The ideal is essentially if you were to spend money and you had not an unlimited budget, but a reasonable budget, you get 2 monthly pass A of the black card high value ones, the serum R&D, and the weapon R&D. That way, every month you're getting a 6-star weapon or close to one. You're getting a bunch of serum and event tickets, and the serum's really important to farm the events that happen every patch. And you're getting a bunch of black cards for the event characters, and you're able to max out most of the characters in the game, and you're able to do the weapon R&D and get their primary 6-star weapon as well. As you can see, I've already gotten this monthly pass. I've gotten this and like one other pack because my Google One subscription, because photo storage, right, gave me like a $10 gift card just out of nowhere for Google Play. So it was like, all right, cool, throw it in PGR. So I'm still free to play. I haven't put my own money into it, but I got the monthly pass and it's helped a lot, which is why I firmly believe this is the best value thing in the game. And 30 tickets is 20, wait, wrong one. 30 tickets is $5 and another $1. It's like $6. You do it here, you get $6. You actually get 1 more for the same cost. So do this one, this one. You spend $6, you're able to get the pass, or $5 and get the cheaper one, which again, you could still have 2 of this. So either one you want to do, $5 or $6, get 2 of it. So probably $10 or $12. And that is the most value you can be doing. If you got 2 every patch, you would be doubling your income from weeklies and the passes that you have 2 of. So 6,000, 6,000. You'd have 24,000 every time going into the new characters. Basically, you'd be able to, with very, and like the instant, so 3, 6, 9, 12 as well, and just from events and everything else, you would probably be able to have a much better chance to at least every other character that you're pulling for get a second copy to get them to SS immediately. So you can maybe have a chance to pain cage them up to SSS in the future. But that is what I would spend money on. The next thing I would spend money on would be the Battle Pass, because I think it's got good value for the resources. I prefer the Top Secret Intel because it gives you event tickets, weapon skin, and a bunch of other things. This encrypted intel was a mistake on my part. I was not properly reading before getting this. And this was Cub. And I don't use the Cubs because that is a very pay-to-win thing that I don't have the money to be putting in to the game to actually make this matter. Again, I was able to get these from... these were actually done with Google Play points because I have spent money in the past on other games. So I had Google Play points for this, and my Google One subscription gave me a freebie $10 for the monthly pass. But they've helped a lot. I just regret doing the encrypted intel. I would have loved to have gotten something else, but you live, you learn. Nothing out of my pocket, so it's whatever. But those are the things that I would recommend. And if you are going to spend the money, get this, save every other patch, go to pity, because the pity for Cubs is 20. And once you get the Cubs for the characters, some of them are really important actually and are really helpful. So it is worthwhile getting the Cubs for some characters if you're willing to spend the money on them. Otherwise, stick with the monthly passes and the one tier of the battle pass. Otherwise, if you're a Giga Whale, go spend on everything, max the game out instantly, and just do whatever. It's up to you if you got the money to spend on it, but that is what I would spend money on, and that is how you are making your black cards, and that is what you should be spending your black cards on. So I hope this video helped with the settings that people have been wondering about how to make the best use of, and the black cards, and how to attain them, and how to spend them properly. I didn't go super in depth how to spend them properly, but I have my main guide video, which will be in a card up above, that does go in depth on basically everything in the game, and then my other quick guide videos that go even more in depth in specific systems of the game. So if there's any other questions, definitely check out the playlist and go watch some of those, because they will give you a lot more information for each individual thing, including for black cards, especially how to earn them, the Pain Cage and Warzone quick guide. That one's very important to see as well if you are still curious about the kind of specifics of it, right? So definitely check those out. Otherwise, that's it for this video, so I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.